One, two, one, two. All right, let's roll.
Welcome. You're listening to the Saddle Up Podcast,
where we discuss everything related to UTRGV athletics, past or present. We'll catch up with old teammates, friends, and take you down memory lane
with exclusive interviews.
This is the Saddle Up Podcast,
the voice of your covered walkway streets. So dope.
This is gonna be awesome.
Stay tuned for new episodes every week.
From Bronx Village to the Fieldhouse,
we'll cover it all.
Hell yeah, dude. Carpe diem.
So saddle up and let's go.
Let's go. Saddle up, partner.
Oh, guys, it's Friday. It's Friday. We got a new episode of Saddle Up Podcast. G.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
I'm here. Welcome,
I know.
Welcome me again. I know sometimes you just don't want me to show up. You're like, maybe G's got like a work meeting or something.
No.
So that you can talk more. Because you know what, you're going to want to talk more because of the person we have on this show today.
Tell us who we got this week, G. Tell them.
Linda Moncivias.
Yay! You sounded out my last name perfectly.
Thank you.
The Track Hall of Famer, Linda. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being on the show. We are so glad. We've been waiting for you to come on the show for ever since we've started
years.
The show. Yeah, for years now, right? It's crazy. We've had this show over almost a year and a half now. So, Linda, thank you so much for joining the show. Are you a fan of the show? Do you listen, or is this the first time you've?
I started listening when I saw Veronica, my trainer. She was my athletic trainer while I was at Panics. I was injured my freshman year.
Shout out to Ronnie. Yeah, shout out to Ronnie. Oh, and then we've also had one of your teammates, two of your teammates. We had Lindsay Krause, who was on that Hall of Fame team with you, and we've had Shelly Castillo, who was on that Hall of Fame team with you. So you're the third member of that team that we've had on the show. So congratulations and thank you for being here.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
Yes. Man, there's so many things that we want to cover, Linda, because you were a native of the valley, correct? Of the Rio Grande Valley?
Yes, I am a native of the Rio Grande Valley. I grew up south of Farm, which I tell my students when I work with them, I call it Las Milpas because it's Las Milpas. But that's part of where I grew up. Actually went to Hidalgo High School.
Okay.
Which is a border town because people used to go party in Mexico, remember?
Yeah.
You know what? I don't remember those.
No,
things.
Mom.
Yeah, my mom.
I don't remember that, Mom. I definitely don't remember that.
Our moms watched this podcast, and I don't remember that, Linda.
No.
Wink.
No. I've heard stories.
The border is very close to my high school, so I graduated from Hidalgo High School. I'm a pirate.
You're a pirate, yeah, lady pirate.
Cool.
Wow. Okay.
So what was it? Yeah. What was it about track that was it like you obviously went to Hidalgo High School? Did you ran track there? Like, what was it about track and field that kind of gravitated you to the sport? And I
was an all-around athlete. I was volleyball, basketball, track. Of course. I was a hurdler. I ran every event on the track, 100, 200, hurdler, middle distance. It started in elementary at Kelly Elementary. I hated to run when I was in elementary. And one day I ran and I got first place. And I fell in love in 6th grade with running. So I became a runner.
Field day, baby. She came home with all the blue ribbons.
Got to get the ribbons.
Yeah.
If you guys got flashbacks too.
I do. Yeah.
And then I went to high school, and even my freshman year, I think I lost the race because we didn't have a track back then. It was just gravel.
Right.
So I remember it was in Donna, and I had gotten first place, but I had never seen the real track. I stopped before it, and I ended up in 5th place as a freshman.
Because you didn't know where.
Yes, the lines were. So I laugh about it, and everybody's like, yes. And I was a freshman, and that's when my coach is like, "You have a lot of talent," and I just did it for the fun of it. But I could block and I could jump, but I did not have the height. I'm 5'3", and The other sports, no.
Yeah. So volleyball and basketball were out of the question, you're saying, right?
Yeah.
So how did you end up well, no, that's not necessarily, I mean, shout out to Raheem Muhammad. He was like 3 feet 8 inches, maybe. Right?
Correct,
They played with it. Yeah. So
hustled.
he did it. He hustled. He's
My
good.
God. Shout out to Raheem. Oh,
Shout
man.
out to Raheem.
Oh, we
we got to get you on
Raheem
the show.
Yes.
But anyway, it's Linda's time right now, Raheem. All right. So you just watch this show and enjoy. So Linda, yeah, how did you get? I mean, did you get recruited? Did you walk on? I mean, what was the way that you ended up at UT Pan American?
I was ranked Valley's best with some of my teammates who were part of the Hall of Fame team, Marty and Gracie.
Yeah.
And Lydia. They always ranked us when the season starts for track in the Valley. So we were all Valley's best. And I had one of the fastest times in the Valley in the 800 because I'm not a sprinter. I'm not a distance runner. I'm a middle distance. I was speed and endurance. Okay.
Yeah.
So I got recruited by Coach Harder, and I came in thinking I was an 800 runner. And I remember him telling me, "Oh, you're gonna be a distance runner. Trust me, you're gonna be one of my best ones." And I was like, "Yeah, right." And in my first meet in college, I ended up running like a 12:30, which I had never run. I think my fastest in high school was a 13:45. My first race at Baylor University was at 12:30, and I was way on the back.
12:30 in the mile.
2 miles. And
2 miles because
Matt's
best 1 mile time was at 12:30. That's why I'm asking. Yeah. So I'm just
and my long ass legs. Yeah, I think my best time is the 12:31 in 1 mile. So yeah.
Anyway, so 2 miles, Linda. That's really good.
Yeah.
But that was my really first meet, and I was way on the back because the girls were running 10s by then.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
Now we're on
perspective. Okay.
Got it. We're understanding.
And then so Coach Harder recruited most of the Valley's best for my generation.
Yeah.
And I knew, and he was expecting us, and I remember him telling us, "You guys are gonna be conference champions." And I was like, okay, this is new to me. I know district champ, regional champions, and everything.
Yeah.
So it was totally different. So then I started just to trust in coach more than anything. Yeah. And I know my freshman year I got injured. We got third at the Sun Belt Conference as freshmen, and we were called the Fab Five. There's an article about us as the Fab Five coming in as freshmen.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Wow. Can you share that? Can you find that?
Can you share that?
Yeah. I have it. I'll share it with you guys.
Yeah. Yes. We love that. We'll share it for sure.
Yes, and then I remember training and coming back. We would run for an hour. Coach would have us listen to tapes, and I believe in yourself. You can do it. And then we had to reflect on ourselves every single day after 1 hour workout for an hour.
He was a big believer in manifestation, and the mind is going to
the psychological
aspect of it, not just the physical. He was ahead of his time then.
He was ahead of his time. Yeah.
He ran for OSU, and he also he tried out for the Olympic tryouts, during his time. And Reed Harder. That's Reed Harder.
Reed Harder.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna watch this podcast. So hi, Coach Harder. We love you.
Shout out to Coach Harder. We love you, man. Thank you for bringing all those great vibes to these wonderful Valley athletes.
Yeah.
But so.
He always believed on creating his own runners because, we had a lot of foreigners when you guys played basketball. Mm-hmm. We had a bunch of South Africans and foreigners, a lot of those, and they were already 24 and I was only 19 or 20, 21. Yeah. So he believed in creating his own runners and developing his own runners, which were the local Valley kids. And he believed in us, and he envisioned for us to concentrate in school because I'm the first generation to go to college.
Yeah.
And I was not used to reading. I was not used to studying. And I was a bilingual kid. For all those bilingual kids, yes, you can succeed and get your bachelor's, master's, a doctorate to any kid,
Amazing.
So he envisioned us, and he understood our culture in the Valley because we're a little bit different.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
Yeah.
Matt,
And-
yeah, culture shock. He's barely getting over the culture shock. Matt, 25 years later.
25 years later, I'm like, yeah. Now I'm just missing the Mexican food. Like, there's no place in all my travels. I've never found any place with better Mexican food than the Valley.
Yeah, he's like
So
the old guy from Fraggle Rock, all his travels.
Yeah, I was gone for
Got
1
out
week to visit my brother, and as soon as I come back, it's like I need Mexican food. Like,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
nobody
right.
pays it.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And that's how it started. Like, but it was the people that he recruited, and we became, and just the vision, the way he recruited us. I can talk to somebody from my previous time, like Monica Swift. We're real good friends, but we're
Shout
all
out to
from
Monica.
different generations, and we get along perfectly. It's just the way the people that he recruited. It was
Yeah.
there
brought
was
in-
something in common. Yes.
He brought in runners that gelled, that understood each other. I think he was it seems like he was just a great individual, great coach, and somebody that made a huge impact in your life. How did Coach Porter's impact on you kind of motivate you to get into the career that you're in right now? Because, basically you're in a school district, you're helping kids.
Yeah.
You're helping kids every day. How did your experience at UT Pan American kind of mold you to what you're doing now, and kind of paying it back, right? Paying it forward. Mm-hmm.
It's just like, now as an educator, I feel like, oh my God, I'm giving my part. And as a college athlete, it's a little bit different because you really impact other people, even people from the community that are struggling or going through things, or you need to motivate your colleagues. I feel that what I learned through the university, the way coach motivated me, I was able to motivate. I coached for a while. I was able to motivate my runners as well. I'm able to motivate my students at the DHC campus. I'm able to have them visualize how, if you change your life around, like, you can become successful. And even when, even my background, because I know I grew up in a different side of the valley, even with them, it's like, oh, miss, you did it. Like, it was like, yeah, but I believed in my teachers. Like, my teacher told me, Miss Perez, and my principal, which is Dr. King, and my assistant principal, Miss Duran, like, and my high school coach, Coach Brandt, they always, like, that was the main thing, believe in yourself, you can do it, and oh my God, you're going to be successful. There was no doubt in their minds, and I believed it, and I was able to.
You're an example of it. You're an example for those students, for your students, right? Because what better example than having somebody from Las Milpas, from their community, right? Like, they can identify because they look like them, right? You come from, and you made it, and so that's beautiful. That
is beautiful. Talking about making it, Linda. Talk to us about the Hall of Fame. Like, the team did, you were experiencing everything that you experienced. You came in as a Fab Five. You had some great success. Just recently, what was it? Maybe a year ago?
Yeah, it was in March.
Months ago.
Months
ago, right? Was it?
Yes.
So talk about how it was, kind of seeing everybody, people that you haven't talked to in a while. What was that whole experience like, getting inducted into the Hall of Fame?
Just getting inducted, it just threw me back to that day that we ran in McAllen back in December of 1987. And even just conversing with Casey and Marty and Gracie and Lydia, it just brought flashbacks, just getting prepared to run that day. And I remember Marty pushing me every day, every morning. We were at the university at 6 o'clock in the morning, running and training, running 10 to 15 miles or doing a workout. And she's like, because I'm not a distance runner, I'm a middle distance.
You're middle distance. You remember
Middle
that.
distance,
We're going to put that in your bio. Yeah.
She taught me, her and Casey Warwick taught me how to pace myself, and Gracie and Lydia. Like, it's because you need to pace yourself, because I wanted to come out really fast. Like, okay, I'm in the first race. And I learned how to pace, and I'm thankful for them. And I was the third man on the team that day. And little Casey, we had Casey Warwick, and then we had little Casey Science. And we were all communicating through the race. And everybody cheering us on it from the university, like all the sports. That was amazing. It was like a team effort through the university and us. and it just gave me flashbacks from the first day that I started racing boys in my neighborhood, and going back to high school and making it to regionals. That's like it was like fast forward really quick your whole life, and then that day going back to getting interviewed back in college. We're always getting interviewed, and you go back and live those moments from college. It's something very memorable, and I would always cherish in my life and enjoy it.
And just like the first time that you probably met Matt and myself in college, could you compare those feelings to the first time you met us when we were freshmen and sophomore? Yeah, I thought so. I thought so. Because
you're Linda in the training room. That was the first time I met you.
yeah. And that's the first time that we met a lot of athletes.
A lot of the athletes, right?
Because
it was the first time.
Yes, if it wasn't on a Friday or Saturday night at Reynosa, it was in the training room for sure.
But you know what was crazy is that again, I'd heard stories about Mexico, Mom. I never went, but
I never went either.
But we would go out on like Thursday nights to like Collage or Hot Spots or whatever, or Saturday nights at Club X or whatever, right?
Metropolis,
Metropolis, whatever.
We never went,
or Hillbillies, whatever the case was. But we all knew who the athletes were because we had seen, and so I think we all kind of looked out for each other, right? Like it was kind of like, okay, hey, like we'll make sure that everybody's cool, like baseball, track, it just kind of like we were our own little community, and we all looked out for each other, volleyball or basketball, women's basketball, whatever, right? And so I thought that was always cool, like that we always kind of had an eye out for everybody, to make sure everybody was safe, because we were all going through it together. Like you guys were going through what we were going through, and so, and vice versa. So, yeah.
And even after like, I think like if we see each other, like we connect, and it's a different type of friendship and unity that we all share.
Agreed.
Yeah. Linda, what's crazy is one of the reasons why we, and I talked to you about this, one of the reasons why we started this podcast was to, kind of bridge that gap, and that transition from everything that's happening with UTRGV, and not lose our roots, right? Like that's so important that we don't lose our roots. How do you feel about, all this kind of like the transition going into UTRGV? Have you had a chance to go see some of the upgrades, all of the facilities? And because it's really important for somebody that was a successful Pan American Bronc to see and look, we're looking into the future. How do you feel about what's happening now with the university?
When the induction, they took us to the baseball game, and it's still nice because it's a different baseball field. Just the area that they selected for us, it was different, and it's nice just to see. Just driving around the university, it's like, wow, it is a big university. I was like, I don't think I could have made it now. But it's different, and it's nice that it's really developing, and it's impacting more people in the valley and more people from outside the valley with the medical program, with the football team. I drove the other day because they were passing out stuff for the teachers, and I'm a teacher, so I go for the free stuff.
Let's go get it.
And then I detoured the wrong way, and I saw the football field where they're setting it up right behind.
Practice field,
It's beautiful, like.
It is.
It's amazing. I was like, wow. I used to train over there by there's a big we used to call it Death Valley, right across from the football practice area.
Palms.
Yes.
Don't both
right next
by the way.
We call it Death Valley because we were gonna die that day. The workout. So.
You knew that if they were taking you back there, it was going to be a challenge.
It was going to be a bad day. It was going to be a rough day.
So speaking of, we were going to die that day. That kind of thought, right? What are challenges that you remember as an athlete? What was one of the challenges that you can help kind of athletes now that are going through challenges? How did you get through those challenges as an athlete when you were a Pan American Bronc?
My freshman year, I was never used to running 120 miles a week. I woke up one day and I couldn't walk to practice.
Oh my gosh.
And I
120 miles a week.
yeah,
Oh my
so my
gosh,
body
dude,
felt it. I got injured. I couldn't even do workouts. I couldn't finish workouts, and I was crying. I was like, maybe I don't belong here.
yeah.
But I remember Jim Lancaster. He always took care of all of us. He's like, it's okay. It happens to other freshmen. You're
Remember
gonna be
those?
successful.
Remember those little
Shout out to
green?
Jim.
Yeah, the green Gatorade cups with the ice. You know,
Yeah.
for the shin splints. Like,
They still have them, Matt. They still have them. They still
they
use
still
them.
have them.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
still use them. Yeah. No, he was ahead of his time.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was always doing, when you talk about ice baths, I was always doing my feet, because I needed orthotics. Eventually they got me orthotics and I started getting better and running, but that helped me become stronger and not give up and keep
Yeah.
persevering and actually focus on my goals and just focus on my junior and senior year, because those are the years that count the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your freshman year is just rebuilding and believing in yourself. You were successful and you're as successful as everyone else. The key to this is just believing it again, because you're at a different level with
Oh,
everyone
yeah.
at the same level.
I love that. Words of encouragement. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You're exactly
And that's
right.
what, yeah.
'Cause it's a whole different ball game, so to speak, right? It's a whole different level, you know, and I mean, we went through it. G was a stellar quarterback, you know, and basketball player.
Linda, I don't know if you've seen some of the shows or the pictures, but this guy loves to say that I'm Uncle Rico
Chico.
from Napoleon Dynamite. Yeah. Because I always try to live my glory days and I try to talk about, but you know what? We're not going to talk about that. This is all about Linda, Matt. This is about Linda. It's not about Uncle Chico.
What I was saying was it's a different level. Like you had success, Linda, at running track at Hidalgo High School. I had success at Bastrop as a senior. G had success in his own right there at St. Joe's, and then you go to Pan Am, and it's a Division I. So now it's like every person on your team was that person at their respective high school. So now
That's
it's
right.
a whole different ball game, you know, and
Yep.
so you gotta step up. So
And with us, we had like about 30 girls, right, on the team, and all 30 counts, but only the top 7 get to travel. Only top 7 runners travel. Only the top 7 run at the championship. And it was like every day, like you wanted to beat me, I was gonna beat you and make you hurt more than you're making me hurt. So it was a battle every day. Like if I messed up, if I wanted to go party and I didn't concentrate, or I was taking my time, you had to balance time. You had to balance time studying. You had to balance your diet, everything, if you wanted to be the top 7. And I think that's what made the team very successful, because there was no time for you to like, oh, I think I'm going to take it easy today. No, every day was a competition just to practice.
You know, I didn't even think of that. Like I always think of a, you know, like team sport, like a 5-on-5 or a, you know, whatever, a football or whatever. I never think track and field would be so competitive within the teams. But you're right. I never saw it that way. That you're only traveling this many people and you got to bring it every day. You can't mess up. And if you went out, you better get up, you know, you better be there.
Yeah.
You better show up. That's crazy, Linda. Yeah. You're
is.
opening our eyes. You're opening our eyes to track. So now I'm thinking Matt and I would have been great track and field runners. We were in the wrong sport.
No, dude, let's flash back to earlier in the episode where I ran a 12-minute 31-second mile.
400.
Yeah, so this is me on a track. Is you've seen me on a track, G? It's not pretty. So
the day of the race at the championship, I remember running, and it was like maybe 20 or 40 of us. It was 5:05, 5:15 mile pace at the first mile.
Wow.
Yes.
5:05.
That's amazing, Linda. That's amazing. I don't know if I've ever hit that. I don't know if I definitely never will. Definitely never will. Never have.
Well, I can't do it anymore.
But G can do CrossFit now.
Yeah. Whatever.
Hey, shout out to G. He medaled. He podiumed second place in his competition this past weekend.
Again,
congratulations.
Again, Linda, Matt is trying to Uncle Chico the situation again. He wants me to talk about it. but I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to boast.
I'm giving you
I'm not gonna-
congratulations. You got a podium, second place. It was a big
Hey,
competition.
Congratulations to Linda for
Yes,
all of the
course.
things that she has accomplished. Linda, you are an inspiration to like all of these kids, no matter where they're from Brownsville to all the way to Roma. You know, if you're in the 956 and you're in the Rio Grande Valley, you can make it. Linda is an example of what you can do if you put your mind to it.
Agreed.
And Linda, we're gonna put your mind to something right now. All right, because we want to give away some Wing Barn gift cards.
Shout out to Bobby at Wing Barn.
Shout out to Bobby Signs and Anna Signs at Wing Barn. Linda, we're gonna wrap this show up with giving away some gift cards to you, and also to somebody that kind of says that they can beat Matt in a mile run. On when we post your show, I'm gonna say, can anybody beat 12:30 in the mile run? And if you can, you're gonna win gift cards.
Yeah.
All right. There's gonna be a lot of people winning.
Bobby, we're gonna need more gift cards, Bobby.
So Linda, you ready to play this or that?
Yes.
All right. Let me put my readers on. This kind of shows I can't see a thing. All right, so it'll be this or that. You just kind of say, you know, whatever. I think if you've seen the show, you know, you just kind of say whatever's on your mind and which one you like better. And then the last one is actually a question. The last one is actually a question. So I kind of added that question just to kind of, you know, and then Matt, you know, we'll kind of whatever Matt wants to ask, we can let him think about that. But let's have a little fun, okay? All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Rain or shine?
Shine.
Yeah, she
That's
manifests
right.
things.
Because
Come on,
Come on. She's a shining light, man.
Yeah.
All right. Metropolis or hotspots?
Ooh.
Oh.
I knew it.
Both.
Oh.
Same night, baby.
Same
Hey,
night.
we're going.
She was running in between both. Get
It's
it?
dead. Yeah, it's dead right here, man. Oh, she was running. That's a good one, Matt. Pizza or pasta?
Pasta.
Of course, for a runner.
Carb load,
before the race. Yeah. Pancakes or waffles?
Isn't it the same thing as my students? Okay, pancake.
Yeah. All right. Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Tea? Okay. Comedy or drama?
Comedy.
All right. Would you rather get a phone call or a text message?
Still phone call.
All right. All right. Candy or popcorn?
Candy.
Candy. Ketchup or mustard?
Mustard.
All right. Shoes or sandals?
It would probably be sandals now. Back then shoes, but now sandals.
I got you. Hair up or hair down? Ooh, yeah.
Hair up.
Yeah, hair up, Matt. We're getting down in Metropolis and hotspots, baby. Okay.
Yeah.
Last question. Right now, in the state that we're in, okay, I have a bad knee. Matt, he runs a little bit, but in a 100-meter dash, all right, 100 meters, who wins, Matt or G? Who you got, Linda? Who you putting your money on?
Okay, you have a messed up knee.
Yeah,
and Matt
has a messed up everything. Just like I don't know. He's falling apart, but he still runs a little bit.
Put the money on G. Put the money on G. Put the money on G.
I'm trying to. How fast would you sprint across the basketball court?
So basically, we're gonna have to do a 100-meter dash video and post it on Saddle Up. Is that what you're saying, Linda?
So we can see it.
So we might, for Midnight Madness, we might have to do something and film it. Yeah, just.
Who do you think is gonna win? Who do you think?
I think one of you is gonna start laughing. So, and you may end up finishing it at the same time.
It's gonna be a tie. It's gonna be.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna get G and I running suicides again. And we're we're not even gonna make it to half court. We're just gonna bust out laughing and faint.
Yes,
So-
that's what I can picture myself.
Yeah, thank you, Linda. Thank you. We appreciate that.
Yeah, Linda, you are such a great guest, and we're so thankful that you've been on the show and you lend us your time, and I love that you manifest great things in your life for you, for your family, for your students, and I wish you all the best, and I hope that you continue to do so, because you are that example for all those kids in the Valley. If you can do it, they can do it. You know.
Yep.
So I love that. I love that story. It's just by the grace of God. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
Linda, to wrap it up, who would you love to see on the show?
Ooh, and you got to help them. That's the
And you're gonna help, and you're gonna help us get
them.
Yeah,
You
who
got to
would
help
like to
us
see?
get on the show. Get them on the show.
It's gonna be Casey Warwick. Your
Okay.
name?
You have been called out, Casey.
Casey Warwick.
And Marta Gonzalez and Casey Sainz Lydia and Gracie Salinas.
What?
All right.
Okay, you got to get it. You got to, and you know what? And Monica Swift. We got to get Monica Swift
Oh, yeah.
on here too.
Ooh, let's do
Monica,
it.
you're
Let's do it.
next.
Yeah,
Monica,
so you
you're
got to help
next.
us. You got to help us get them on the show, Linda. But yeah, we can't wait to have them.
Yes. And thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you for everything you guys do. You're doing an amazing job.
Thank you,
Thank
Linda.
you.
You're doing an amazing job too, and thank you for joining us on the show.
Yeah, it's because
Thank
of
you.
athletes like you. That's why we're doing the show. So thank
Yes.
you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, till next
Have
week,
a-
guys. Another
till next
episode.
week.
We'll see you next
Bees
Friday.
up.
Like we weren't supposed to come up with something this clean, like something happened.